As a label and package printing converter, you've made a conscious decision to put key investment into better management of your information and data and automating your workflow. What were the reasons behind you making that decision?
In any industry now, digitisation of the workflow is becoming a requirement in order to manage efficiencies, improve reliable quality, and obviously manage the multi-streams of data that flow around all our businesses. It's a data superhighway for all levels, in production, pre-press, order processing, and to be able to tap into that in any position within that highway is a major advantage.
And that's not just coming from moves to shorter runs and more variations, but it's the whole management of the business.
I think it's the whole management of the business. I mean, obviously, every converter is looking for an increased productivity level and sales per capita. That's the aim, obviously. And this is another way to achieve this. But furthermore, obviously, we've talked earlier in the FEMAC conference regarding skill shortage. And as good people become ever more scarce and training costs are increasing, obviously to be as efficient as possible is a huge advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you see as the key challenges in terms of trying to find a suitable management information automation system?
I think that's probably a good question for you, sir.
I think it's working with somebody who can work with all your other partners within the business. Suppliers protect their data as well. But to link everybody within your business, you need them to talk openly and be available, to be flexible, so that everybody can join the workflow.
Mm-hmm. Is it possible to find a system that does everything, or it's a compromise at the end of the day?
I think it depends on the level of automation you want within your business. If you want it to go through from the quotation right the way through to dispatch of a job, it includes everybody within the business.
Yeah.
So that way, every machine must touch, and you don't want the job to be interrupted by a number of users putting different data in.
Yeah.
So it literally depends on how far you want to take that automation.
But I mean, effectively, most people in the plant can see what's happening.
Everybody can see it.
But they can't have an input to it. Some can, but not all.
Yeah, everybody can see it. It's important that everybody understands it, and everybody understands the language that you're using within your workflows.
I think, though, if we were all starting with a clean sheet of paper with no system,
yes,
then it would be much, much easier, I believe, to implement a one-stop system.
Yes.
Possibly.
But that's not really feasible. Is it?
That's not feasible. We're all inheriting some form of existing system, because, I mean, these MIS systems have been in the market for a relatively short space of time by comparison to the age of most of the businesses that are occupying them. So it's an adaptation. It's an add-on. It's a strap-on, a bolt-on, however you want to describe it. So you're building a system. And I think one of the key challenges is bringing all the suppliers together and getting the suppliers to talk to each other and to understand each other's formats.
Yes.
Some future standardisation there would be a great advantage. At the moment, it's something we're looking at now, and updating our own personal systems and trying to look for a broader, more standardised system. To our knowledge at this moment in time, we think we have a good compromise, but I think there's room for improvement in all systems.
I think to a certain degree we're still in the very early stages of automation. It's the machinery people and equipment people are still writing software to integrate with your management information.
And as we said yesterday when we were discussing Industry 4.0, and I asked the question in the FEMAC conference, when was 5.0, what's next in the future? Yes. And this is moving at an ever-increasing rate. Technology is moving forward, software technology, and now we've got artificial intelligence possibly in there at some point. How long is a piece of string, as we say in the UK? I think there's a timeline that's going to surprise us. as to how fast this comes to the market.
I mean, in terms of workflow automation, from what you were to what you are now, how far along the route do you think you are in terms of where you would like to be in terms of full automation?
I'd probably say we're 70% of the way. With it's finding the right individuals who know about print, who also know about software. We know exactly what we want to automate, but bringing individuals who can take that technology and link it all up. And it's like Chris said, you've always got to have add-ons to what you've initially got because they don't take it to the full length.
No,
I would say, I would probably say we're slightly further forward than perhaps Sue is indicating. I think
that's because I do it, I always dumb it down slightly.
I think as a collective system, our system is quite inclusive. It's sort of almost cradle to grave with the management of colour management, the management of pre-press, with the management of approvals, the automation of the job ticket, the shop floor data collection, and then this extending into our AVT systems and extending into our serialisation and real marking. This is all encompassing. But of course, in any projects that are similar to this, you want to go further, and you're always finding new areas where you think we could automate here, we could reduce a little bit of time here, we could shrink costs there. So it becomes an ever evolving project.
I don't think it'll ever end.
I think it's something. I was speaking with a large converter yesterday, and they were saying that their IT department is just expanding and expanding.
Yes.
And we didn't have an IT department up to 2 years ago. We now have an IT department, and this is something in a print company which is quite new, and I can see that becoming an ever increasing cost in one respect, but ever increasing department that we're going to make good use of. I think what's important to recognise also is training.
Yes,
I mean training is key to the whole process of these systems, and it's a hidden cost. Which I think most people underestimate.
Yes.
You look at the cost of buying a system, double it when you include the training, or even treble it when you include the training.
Certainly something people don't tend to think about.
Exactly.
I mean, overall, what would you say are the top 3 real benefits that you've found so far in implementing your workflow automation system?
I'd say full traceability throughout your business.
Full traceability throughout the business. A more reliable workflow. Mm-hmm. So for areas in business where you need total security of the data as it's moving through your business, the less human input, the less times you input the same information, you're reducing the error rates.
Yeah, it's elimination of errors.
Elimination of errors. Yeah. And I think just the whole speed to market. I mean, it just improves the communication. And it builds confidence in the business. So it builds confidence in the people. And confident people give much better customer service.
And just to finish off, has it made any kind of difference or substantial difference in terms of your overall bottom line of your business? Without giving any secrets.
I think, obviously our business is published as any other businesses in the UK, and anyone can look at that.
But compared to before and after, let's say that way.
I will say the results have been relatively good for us. It's been significant. Yes. I think there's an element of the automation has certainly brought that, increased the value per head, which obviously leads to a more efficient business. But I think it's built better customer confidence, which in turn leads to increased levels of customer retention, better customer relationships. So from a sustainability perspective as a business, I think we've had some huge gains here.
So you'd say return on investment has been well worthwhile.
Extremely.
I think essentially it's helped us build brand OPM.
Yes.
Because the data is always consistent. Yes. So the clients get used to that and enjoy that.
Okay. Many thanks for your time. We'll have this for part of our preview for the lead up to Labelexpo show and our automation arena. We thank you for your time. Thank you very much.
It's an absolute pleasure, Mike. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great.